Hello everybody, it's VerticalSandwich. Welcome back to Let's Play Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. We have a lot of cleanup to do. It looks like at least 3 videos of just errands and treasure chests and world map hidden treasures, clearing out dungeons and stuff. So, second floor, Ding Dong Dell. And there we go. Now, I did talk to this person before I decided that we weren't going to do collecting emotions, or pieces of heart, and, rearranging them in post. So, you can read this dialogue, but, because it won't exist when we come back. But we're not going to collect her piece of heart right now. We're actually, but I did leave the video in. So what we're going to deal with right now are treasure chests and bounty hunts. And that's it. And we're going to talk about, we're going to do dungeon clearance. A lot of dungeon clearance. So dungeons are cleared. They're listed as cleared with the telling stone if you've gotten every treasure chest in them and explored every area of the map. So ding dong well, we haven't explored every area of the map, and there's a purple chest. Purple chest is here, it's right at the end. Some dangerous areas you can clear pretty early in the game. But as you'll see here, we've gotten all the chests, but it hasn't cleared because we haven't explored the entire map. There's a little area over here that's still grayed out. They want the map completely not grayed out. And even though you've been to some areas, they may be grayed out when you come back. Once something is cleared, because there are areas where I'm like, I know I was here. In both of my files, this has been an issue. So there we go. This is 100% map exploration. Now it's listed as cleared, so there's nothing left for us to do here. At least right now, because that's not the case for all dungeons. There'll be an errand that takes us into the Vault of Tears later. Alright, so, northwest of Ding Dong Dell, there's this turtle. He is a turtle bounty hunt.
Here we go.
The turtles have like the best names. They're like Shellraiser and things like that. They're so good. Shell on Earth. Like, it's so fantastic. So we're just gonna, I mean, we're not in the middle of anything, we're not detouring from anything, we're just doing this as a standalone. So what we're going to do for these bounty hunts is we're just going to hit these guys as hard as we can. And then we'll go back and heal them and things like that off camera. So I wouldn't expect to see any real, you know, it's questionable. If you're in the middle of like clearing a dungeon and there were like an optional boss enemy, you'd have to think about it. But in a case like this, you just don't. You give it a shot. If you die, you reload your game. So and frankly, at this point, we're doing enough collecting in this RPG that money shouldn't be an issue at this point. This RPG is set up like a lot of them where, you know, when you get to the higher level shops, you have to really pick and choose what you're going to buy. Because, you know, you're not set up to earn enough money that you can just clear out a shop for every, especially since, you know, you can have hundreds of familiars. So, you know, buying the newest sword for every single one of your familiars that uses a sword, not so much. But even everyone in your team is a real issue. The sword-using familiars and the spear-using familiars are weighted to be, you know, kind of funner magic users. So I will show turning in these bounties as well. Usually right after I've completed them. Although there may be one exception to that. Now I think we're gonna end up at something like 94 hidden treasures found, and that's right. That's at this point in the game, that's about perfect. If it's not perfect, it's one short of perfect. Because there is an entire continent. When you explore this place, there is a continent all the way to the west that is shrouded in mist, and Tangri cannot land there. Alright, so south of Alma Moon, there is a cave. It is called the Alchemists Cave. It's a very important cave. There are some chests in there, and we're going to get those. We're not even going to talk to the alchemist. Because, the heck with that guy. He's a jerk. Like, he has what is ostensibly the biggest pain in the butt errand in post-game. I mean, it's the biggest pain in the butt errand in the entire game. But, I mean, it's just awful. It's just horrible. He's horrible. So we could have stopped here earlier and gotten one of these chests, but it doesn't really make any sense. So yeah, we're not going to talk to him. He'll actually tell us that, you know, it's great that we're an alchemist, but we don't know anything yet. And that, you know, but we can't activate any of his stuff until post-game, so it doesn't matter. It only matters for, you know, knocking out the chests that we can for completionist sake, really, at this point. You can wait till post-game to get those chances. So we do have a few hidden treasures in this area. These were accessible way earlier. But they were kind of out of the way. Everything over here is kind of out of the way. In my walkthrough, they were dealt with as, you know, areas you could break into, like, the minute you got the ship. But you would have to save all the time, so I didn't bother with them, because why would I do that? And yes, I'm doing a lot of jumping around here. And by jumping around, I mean calling my dragon to just kind of warp me over a space. Now, like I said, you can use the boat and land here and find ways to climb up here early and stuff. You can do that. It is, you know, but I just didn't think it was worth it, frankly. And I would argue that it's not. So in the Golden Grove, there is this chest, and this will actually complete the Golden Grove for us. So there we go. We're really coming along. There's actually a trophy for finishing these all off. For getting all the dangerous places cleared. Alright, we have some stuff in Old Smoky we also haven't done. There's a purple chest, there's a green chest, and an area with a green chest in it I didn't even realize I'd missed. And there are very aggressive monsters on Old Smoky, so we're using Veil. Just to avoid monsters seeing us and running up and hitting us right away. I mean, the battles would take no time, but they also give us nothing, so. So yeah, up by that save point, there's actually a little hallway that leads to a green chest, and that's what we have not explored yet in Old Smoky. And so here it is. It's actually pretty cool. Like, this is a cool little area, and I'm a little sad that I didn't, you know, hit it earlier, but the first time we came up here, we didn't have Swain, so... So there we go. So that's Old Smoky. And now our list is looking, you know, very completed, which is nice. The real problem for us is going to be Glittering Grotto. Glittering Grotto has like 11 red chests in it or something, and most of them are hidden behind fake walls and stuff. So we have Magmageddon, yeah, I think this is the Magmadonna. I'm not sure, but yes, this is the Magmadonna. The bounty hunt is called Magmageddon, I believe.
We can do this.
And she's an easy fight. She's always an easy fight. However, I am going to switch familiars to one that has a nice cold spell to use. And this is how I'm going to fight this fight, is by hitting her with Snowblower over here. Because, I mean, we are doing good damage. I mean, it's... She's just so out of the way. It doesn't make any sense when you first get this bounty. I mean, you've got to run up this entire stupid volcano. Like, now that we have Veil, and... Now that we have Veil and can open purple chests and clear out areas. Because there's no more advanced wand for chest opening. We aren't going to meet other chests that need a better wand. I'm not saying there aren't better wands. There are better wands. But... This is the only time she really gets a hit in, actually. It's just kind of funny.
I'll do my best. Here goes.
It is a little insulting that I had to heal her in this fight, actually. Like, but I haven't really jacked up any of my familiar's equipment. Anything. All right, so that's one less bounty to have to do, and now we'll go turn this one in. And we'll have completed a lot of Autumnia as a continent, which is nice. Oh wait, or is it the Summerland? I don't remember. Autumnia may very well be. I think that's where Hamlin is. Which is a little ridiculous, because the Golden Grove looks very autumn-ish. Which, by the way, there's no, like, Spring World. So, our last one is on, like, the Winter Islands or whatever, so. Alright, so over near the Vault of Tears. We have some Angulas, which are handy in some early alchemy, but they're not really very needed. One of our biggest issues here is that we haven't really done a lot of work in the forest areas of this game. So over by this chest, or this the ship, there's also a hidden treasure. But yes, these forest groves here, like we haven't really done a lot of work over here. And a lot of them have purple and green chests in them, or one of the other. I mean, some of them have, you know, a red chest, a purple chest, and a green chest. But all of them, I believe all of them have one or the other. They have either a green chest or a purple chest. Like I said, if not both. And they're all over the world. There's a ridiculous amount of these things. So in the Vault of Tears, we have a purple chest. And this literally is the only thing we missed during our run through of this. So, and it's a steam hammer, which is an upgrade for our hammer welding familiars. So that's cool. And there we go, one more. We will be doing the Tombstone Trail. and the Glittering Grotto. And that leaves like one more dungeon at one more dangerous area that we haven't gotten to yet. And that one, we will talk about it when we get there, but that one you have to clear while you're going through it. Otherwise, getting back there is a gigantic pain in the butt. So we missed an overworld treasure in the fairy ground. Like, just in there, like right here. That's it, 2 carnation cakes. That was unexpected. I checked every island, by the way. I went to every island group. If you and casted Seek Fortune. If you don't see me land there, we already got everything. So there's a forest grove on this island all by itself. I haven't really paid any attention to it. But now we can go in and clear it out. Also, the island right next to it has stuff on it. We haven't really paid any attention to that island. There's no real reason. We just didn't have any real reason to come here. My walkthrough is very thorough. I'm sure it mentioned that I could do these things. I just didn't, because that's the guy I am. And you'll find that the big issue with these green chests is not knowing. Knowing is trying to find the approximate vantage point. Like, you should be facing against the chest. So if you can find the front of the chest and draw a line off of it, you should be facing right at the chest. So that gives you like a line to find, but to find the general area, some of these can be really hard. Like that one was pretty obvious. You want to be up a little higher, facing the chest. Dragon Tooth Ring. It's interesting. We haven't really dealt with any of this stuff. However, our equipment is going to be an embarrassment of riches when we get kind of everything we're picking up. But there'll be some later alchemy stuff. There's an alchemy completion % in this game. And I haven't even come close. One of the problems is you build stuff as you go. And then you don't know what you've done and what you haven't. You know, there's no good indicator in the alchemy chart that you have made these things. Unless they're things you can only get by making. But we will. There will be. I mean, there will be after game videos of me just going through and alchemy crafting things to try to get that percentage up as high as possible. You don't have to craft every recipe in the game. I don't believe, but I believe you have to craft 70% of them or something. And so many of them are weapons and equipment that it gets a little crazy. In my practice file, I know I went through and every accessory has been crafted. That, oh, okay, so this is the last thing we're gonna do. Just north of the continent that you can't land to because Tengri is here, there's a place that it seems like you can't land on it. But if you go a little north of the fog and then shoot Tengri's cursor south, you can, in fact, land on it. It just has a little southern overlap with the no Tengri area. And there's some things here. There's a forest grove here. There's some hidden treasure. So we'll get the hidden treasure. We're going to go into the forest grove, and then we're going to call it this video. And then we'll start heading up towards Skull Mountain and the Winterlands and the Glittering Grotto. And then we should have gone through everything. Because we literally have. I've checked all the areas around everything at this point, except I haven't gone to the Tombstone Trail and done the area around Hamlin. And I haven't done the area around Yule. And I haven't done the area around Perdita. Or Perdita, however it is pronounced. And we should run into, if this is not the one, we should run into one of the creepiest forest groves in the game. It's like nonsensically creepy. It has a bunch of fairies in it and this woman who's talking about television and stuff. It's very Twilight Zone. In fact, it's so weird. I might come back to it at some point and just talk about it in live commentary so we can really examine the dialogue. Even though I'm going to show the dialogue. in post. Alright, we have a green chest here. My personal opinion is, aside from the green chests and dungeons, you can skip these. I think you end up in the course of the game having to use like two gems ever to give familiars abilities that you need for like quest stuff.
Ready?
All right. So that clears that out. So now, when we come back, we'll be continuing the rest of kind of this video and the rest of our clear out. And then we'll be back to live commentary where we do pieces of heart and such. I will see you guys for that. Bye, everybody.